Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the juniors finals in the Japanese Championship Series. One of these two players will become the national championship in Japan. Both players playing Lugia. I believe this is juniors. I don't think this is seniors. Two young children, small guys. Silver Tempest Meta is back. On the mic with me, I have Justin Bean, a good friend of mine. He's just hanging out with me.
Hello, you're watching the juniors pal shuffle for a second time.
Yep. They're small hands. Getting it done. We have Lugia is one of the more powerful decks coming out of this metagame with Legacy Energy and a plethora of attackers. All the Ogre Pawn attackers. You have Blood Moon Ursa Luna to clean up games, and you have access to early hands. So you have a bunch of really cool, um, like a bunch of
Almost
cool ideas.
almost as many options as Silver Tempest Lugia now, to be honest.
Yes.
Floating up the Luminion is sick. The Legacy Energy decreasing the prize by one on the first knockout. So you got your zero prize Chinchino, you got your one prize. Like the card goes crazy.
We're starting our setup phase.
It showed best of three in the introduction, so I assume they're playing
Oh,
the same new best of three that
what a clean put the cards back into the deck when you mulligan. Yeah, I believe it's probably just gonna be best of three. 50 minutes. Winner gets determined this way. Give them a second to go get set up.
clean shuffle from the kid on the left there.
We're going to go ahead and see what these juniors have in store for us. They're dripped out. I'm assuming they dripped them out in the outfits, the JCS gear. I like that quite a bit. So the prizes aren't really relevant on both sides. I think it would have to be a concern. The both Ionos could be relevant actually on one side because that means that one side might not have more than two Ionos to work with. And Lugia typically plays 2 to 3 Ionos if that. So we could be in a situation where we don't have those access. Um, we're gonna go ahead and kick things off here. Um, they're just waiting for the start signal, and we're gonna jump right into some Lugia gameplay. Just giving them a second, real quick, to kind of, I guess, settle in. They've got to be nervous. Are they on the main? They're on the main stage, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
They brought him out.
Why not with smoke, with music, the whole deal? Got a
Yeah, this
crowd.
is very cool. You got the whole crowd. Yeah, people watching. Um,
I love the monitors at crowd eye level. That's pretty sick.
that I like that quite a bit too. It's better than what we've usually had.
Maybe technical difficulty. Nope, they're going.
Okay, both have pretty bad starters. Arguably, I think that the Blood Moon Ursula is a worse starter just because it's really hard to move and uses a lot of energy. But Luminion also means that if you're not playing two Luminions, you're in a position where it could be rough. But Lugulis could be up to two Luminion now, which is a advantage for them. So opening the one isn't necessarily a death sentence here. Uh, Obviously, just doing a quick prize check of everything. Um, I like how they just bump up the cards. It's very easy to count rather than moving stuff to the front of the deck. Um, the obvious choice here is just grab a Lugia and set up to look for something turn two, unless we have a Carmine or something in hand to play off of. I can't see the hand. I can't see the deck. They haven't shown either of those. Tons of energy and a reversal, which implies that if there's a reversal in the hand, that uh, there is a
Yeah, Luxray in the deck
Luxray in
or
the deck.
some
Yeah.
yeah.
So Noctown's
Some
got to
other
be good, right? You can pop him for Rotom, and Rotom can grab Hoot Hoot and Noctowl. Yeah. I mean, that it's not bad, but the problem is like Zard gets completely cleared by Draga. So now the board is like, I mean, the hand is like kind of terrible. So I think we just have to attach an energy, and like researching this does not feel good. Ideally, energy to fish, looking to probably leap the following turn, pass it over to the other player. He sees his 8th card of the turn. Let's see what we're working with. Great ball to start. A nice 7, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Information is going to be gained here. What are we going to be able to grab? There was a dragon type Pokemon in that hand. I don't know what that dragon type Pokemon was, but this hand is pretty insane actually. We see the Aroma as well.
Oh, that was a Noibat.
Noibat. The coin went
If
off
I
the
had to
table.
guess.
That's pretty funny. Noivern for maybe the 1 prize decks like Miraidon potentially. Get a Noivern running
Yeah.
and you could potentially win the game.
Yeah, wall off all those basic attackers.
We're going to see the coin flip here. I think they're just debating because he touched the coin. What the ruling is here.
Oh, look at the time up top. We're playing 75 in it, best of 3.
Okay. Yeah,
We're
okay.
gaming.
So they're going to do a reflip. Result is the same. I mean, I don't think this matchup in particular will need the 75 minutes. There's a Muex in this Lugia list. I see a Noivern. Anything else interesting? Carmines. Luminian. I don't know if I saw hands. Oh, there it is. Good, better angle. Jacques.
Yep.
Carmine. Heavy Ball. Legacy. Yep. Okay. Noibat, Noivern, and yep, so we're gonna go ahead and get this guy. Very clean Ultra Ball for Ultra Ball double Archeops. The Lugia dream, as many would say. Grabbing ourselves a Lugia. I think you can play greedy here and just say that your opponent is not going to be able to get to a V-Star plus boss this turn. V-Star double chops boss. Like, I just think it's not happening. And if you have V-Guard in hand, which I don't think he has, a Jet. Like, I think this hand is, like, kind of insane because you have another Ultra Ball to work with. So just bench these 2 Pokemon. V-Guard, yep. It's such a beautiful hand. Like, this is probably the most ideal hand you could have asked for. And there's a follow-up Jet plus Ultra Ball in hand too. So Ultra Ball for V-Star, Jet up the attacker, and just attack seems pretty insane here. Because even though you go to a 0-card hand, you get to take 2 prizes, and one thing that Lugia can do is just play off the board. So like even with 1 or 2 cards, any return KO gives Lugia the option to, or the ability to, is that Ultra Ball double chops? Research? That's crazy also. That he did not. That's where did he get those Archeops from? He's got to have top decked it, one of them at least.
Night. Yeah.
Top deck. We're looking for the V-Star here. Triple Ultra Ball. So I think we got the V-Star here. Aroma also. Double Aroma. Okay. The unfortunate part is attacking here is not the greatest, I think, because you're not taking a prize. But you kind of can't keep Luminion in the active. So I think you have to attack with Luminion, if anything. Like you have to Luminion, shuffle it back in, and probably just produce. There's a luxury there. So I don't think you mind giving up a prize here, because if they go in with Lugia and take a knockout, you can just go into Luxray, which is actually pretty cheeky, but you discarded the reversal, so there's no way there's a second reversal. So Luxray actually doesn't do anything anymore. Tails gives you access to Minccino. So you can set that up too. This is pretty ideal on both sides, honestly. We get the V-Star up and running. I think that attacking with Luminion here is pretty good. You can just throw up the Lugia and let it take a hit. Like I wouldn't mind letting Lugia take a hit here because you're like, you can put V-Guard on Lugia and just let it take a hit here. But if Lugia dies to Minccino, that'd be really bad. So that's the trade-off. Like if your opponent didn't support her last turn, but if he somehow has supporter, VSTAR, Chinchino, knockout Lugia, then you go down 2 prize cards and the game gets really tough to start with because no matter how the trades go, you will end up losing the trades. Sure, Freddy Fazbear is on the board, so you can take a knockout there, but yeah. Power up Lugia, so I assume Minchino's going up as a sacrifice here. Almost certainly. $120, we're going to shuffle it back in. Nope, Lugia's going up with the gift. I don't understand why we committed all those energies to Lugia if we're just going to shuffle it back in. Or promoted active, I mean. Missed Jet Ultra Ball in hand, so nothing to work with, really. I mean, if I am the player on the left, what I'm probably going to end up doing here is Ultra Ball for Luminian. Luminian for Research. Research and try to hit it off that. I didn't see the top deck. And then you can jet up the Minchino and try to make the play here.
I wonder if play on the right is like daring left to just like boss knock out the Minchino if they can, because that's the only thing that's like OKOing their big 2 prizers.
Yep. There's a boss in hand now. I think that's a boss. So they could potentially. They might be trying to look for a boss play here, but I just don't think the boss play makes any sense here. I think you would always. I think you Ultra Ball away Mist and boss. Grab Luminian for research, jet up the Minchino, and then you have to play on the gamble of hitting 2 stage ones. I just don't. I think he's debating. Like, I just think you can't. Oh my god, he got rid of the jet. I don't know what we possibly could be grabbing that makes his hand worth it. Lumi for Jacques. I think Jacques is too slow. I think you have to actually grab research. Maybe. I mean, Lumi for Jacques might have been fine, actually, that turn. If they play Jacques. I don't see Illuminian actually in this list so far. There's no way, though, right?
You gotta get something to fit the Noibats. I don't know about cutting both Lumi.
So I guess now we're going to go in with Freddy Fazbear, or we're going to potentially just boss the Minchino on the bench. Maybe we're gonna full commit 2 double turbos to this and just boss the Minchino here. Or maybe just boss Archeops, take a knockout. But then we go to 0 cards in hand and we have to proc this gift. So if the other player has a boss to go around it, it's like really bad actually. Yeah.
Not great. 3, 4, 5. Yeah, going all in.
He's gonna attack with Lugia, it looks like here. But we're gonna go to a 0 card hand, I'm pretty sure. Did we prize Luminian? We might have prized Luminian. I don't actually remember seeing it. So we're gonna be able to go into retreat. And I think I have to assume we're just gonna boss here. No reason not to, in my opinion.
Reading the bear.
Archeops, cool. Archeops also means that there's no way for you to die from the Minchino, which makes a lot of sense to me. Take a knockout, takes 1. I don't know what that 1 card was. I think it was an energy.
And no, there's no Lumion prizes.
So that 1 prize has to have been Lumi, or there's no Lumi in the deck. Which is crazy.
There's no Lumion prizes.
So no Lumi. That's crazy.
No Lumi. That's crazy.
Going down 1 Archeops is not great either, but now the trade-off has to be either the younger player on the right chooses to go 2-2-2, or they have to go chase the other Archeops as well. Getting the first attack off was good, but shuffling 3 energies into the deck made it so your board is like this exact scenario would happen where you get attacked into. The casters are showing Lux right here. We're talking about it, but the problem is I believe that the reversal energy is gone, so we can't go into reversal Lux right here. We'll go ahead and put a gift and a mist on the bench.
Yeah, if it was a 1-1, we did research that away. The Minchino needs to evolve, and we need 4 energy on it to knock out this Lugia clean.
But it can't do that. It's physically impossible.
Yeah, can't do that with 1 chops.
Yep. So here we're gonna Ultra Ball and probably research. Just slam research and Luminian for research. Just play the game, or you can go Luminian for boss. Boss up Reddy Fazbear, take 2 prize cards, or boss up an Archeops. Do the same play on the other side where you're saying, hey, I'm gonna knock out your Archeops. You don't have a clean one shot into me now either. And you go around the gift energy. Legacy was shuffled back into the deck, correct?
Yeah, so tap Lugia or knock a chops, and you're not activating gift, which seems good to leave our opponent with a 1-card hand.
I think you definitely that. I mean, like you're basically. I think you chase down chops and you start playing like a top deck war here between the two of you. And you're basically giving the exact same scenario. Oh, wait, what? So this is a weird play to me because you're gonna go ahead and take the 2 prize cards here, but now Minccino can, like, your opponent has a 1-card hand, but there's like a world where if their 1-card hand is Cinccino, they get clean 1-shot back on you, and you don't have a great response. So we're gonna go ahead and chops. Probably put a gift on both the little rats. I think it's fine. You probably go a gift +1 on both, and then it's probably just gonna be an attack given that. Yeah.
Nothing else on board really wants to attack.
Yeah, literally. I think at least put 1 gift on both just so you can get
Give value if they get bossed.
exactly.
Yeah. Fire on the right could find a Cinccino this turn to take another 2. But ooh.
I mean, now you're just putting gifts everywhere that matters. So now if a boss comes through, it is less relevant. We get the first hit on the Lugia and the Lugia mirror here. So we get to take a Lugia hit. And now this Lugia is, like, now boss isn't like a really great target anymore. Like, bossing Archeops doesn't feel good with this Lugia because you don't want to really lose those prize cards. So you have to kind of establish, like, you get this, like, this Luminian is going to be an attacker into the into a Cinccino. But then you have to figure out something to put up that doesn't just get 1 shot immediately as well. Ultra Ball for the Cinccino. We're gonna go ahead and chops, power it up. The player on the right here is pretty locked into this Cinccino actually. I think I would have liked to see them grab a Legacy and another energy and put it on Luminian here maybe. Because we're not ever taking a clean knockout on Lugia anyway. I mean, if maybe we're just gonna take it this turn. Maybe we're just gonna retreat and take the knockout and proc the gift. But if we do that, a boss on Archeops kind of seals the game to some degree. Because if we go take this prize, go down to 2, boss
then,
on.
Yeah, the left guy's got a clean 1 prize board.
Yeah.
Right.
And gift energy gets procced here as well. So knockout here, gift energy gets procced. Because he sees 6 cards before he has to promote. Here, establishing a new Lugia might not be bad either. Or you can go into Reddy Fazbear this turn. You can go Reddy Fazbear. I mean, I wouldn't do it actually. If you're going to kill the Archeops, then you wouldn't do it this way. But what you can do over the course of 2 turns is go into Reddy Fazbear. So like this turn, if you're going to kill the Archeops, you just go boss kill Archeops with Cinccino. And then once Cinccino goes down, the following turn you go Reddy Fazbear, kill active, and then if there's no other Cinccino, there's no chops anymore, so Cinccino can't threaten you anymore, and Reddy Fazbear can then just get moved into a different attacker, like another Cinccino, to end the game. Or you take, you have to take 1 somewhere, then it's like a 2-2 route. So you could go into something big here and just say like, okay, you don't have it after this. They're gonna get the Cinccino. We're going to go ahead and use Archeops. Yep. So let's see what the decision making is here behind this turn of play. Mist to active, which indicates maybe that we're just going to attach from hand and boss something.
So we're hitting 140, which is should be clean knockout on the lug or the chops.
There's a boss in hand.
There is a boss in hand. Let's see who chases that chops.
I think I'd chase the chops if I was him.
Yeah.
Norbert doesn't do anything, man. Don't bench that card. I also use something you can bench Lugia. That's a loose con. Oh, yeah, it's a loose con here. So I think you just have to chase chops. Chasing a 2-prizer is weird here because if you chase Lugia, you give them gift. Noibat.
Right.
Luminion. Okay. Interesting. So maybe the Noivern is a strategy to... maybe we're going to gust up... Like, maybe the one Archeops... I don't know, this just doesn't seem correct, where, like, now this Noibat doesn't actually do anything.
No.
Like, the Noibat would have made some sense if we chased the Archeops. But
Same
now,
for...
the Archeops is just going to load up the Lugia, and there's no Lugia that can respond to the knockout, so the player on the right just basically wins. Because this Chinchino takes the knockout, you're going to accelerate... if they get an attachment off this Iono to 2, is like the game is over, actually. Let's see the 2 cards. Is there an attachment? Yep. So I would just put double turbo on the Lugia. Or, I mean, okay, so I would put 2 actually non-DT energies on Lugia, because now you can kill a 220 HP guy. If you can possibly do that. Like, I think you put Legacy on a Lugia, just because, like, it doesn't matter anymore. Like, I don't think you're going to use Legacy for anything else in this game. So Legacy on a Lugia. And then you go... Oh, we're just going to gift the Archeops also, so everything is gifted on the board.
Okay, so Noivern EX has 260 HP. Which Lugia cannot one-shot. It's
But,
kind of interesting.
but Noivern only hits for 70, I believe. So it's like, you're not even one-shotting back.
First attack's for 70. I guess you're never hitting the second attack in this deck.
Yeah.
So you can only get rid of one of the... Pay for one of the color costs.
Correct. So now the play here is... probably... Use hands with Legacy. And then hope you don't lose the game on a boss here.
Yeah.
When there's going to be a gift energy proc, which is like not ideal.
Yeah, their whole board's gift energy.
Which is smart from the player on the right. They were able to, put their board in a position. Or go ahead and use Luminion as well for Serena. Oh, we're taking 3 prizes. We win the game. Do you remember what I said last turn? Where I said we should put the lug. Remember what I said last turn? I said we should put the Legacy energy on the Lugia. I said we should put Legacy energy and something else. No, Legacy energy was in the deck because we attacked with Luminion on turn 1. So Legacy energy goes on the Lugia. You have no lose condition in this situation anymore. The first game.
That's such a sick play.
We win the game off of the Serena here, but definitely a throw from the player on the right. I don't think they thought about the hands endgame situation.
Big hands for 3.
But that is a situation where, like, if you guys are playing Lugia in the future, you have to keep in mind to use that Legacy energy because it's not doing you any good just sitting in the deck. Like, that's a turn where, like, gifting Archeops is fine, right? But, like, if you... So what's the lose condition there? The lose condition there is your opponent takes 3 prize cards, or the lose condition there is you run out of attackers, are the 2 things. So in the situation where you run out of attackers, you simply put a Legacy plus 1 other energy, like a Jet or something, onto the Lugia. So now you can swing for 220 if need be. You have a Legacy, so you can't give up 2 prize cards or 3 prize cards even in that situation. And then you put the DTE onto the Archeops. So now Archeops can free retreat if need be. So nothing can get gusted. If Archeops goes down, you just need to take an attack somewhere, and Chinchino already has 4 energies on it, and there's nothing in either deck that has more than that much HP. So you just win the game on the Chinchino. But then if Legacy hits the active, let's say like it's a Gust onto Archeops with Chinchino and Legacy onto the active, you now have to play on the other Legacy, but you have 2 attackers. So you have a Legacy on the bench, Lugia, so you have a 1 prizer and a 1 prizer technically on board with 2 prizes to give remaining. So then the hand scenario, it has to come back down to the hand scenario anyway. So maybe the end game plays out the exact same with the hand scenario, but you give yourself the option to top deck into Boss or Luminion, which Luminion I think we already used, so it was on the discard. But you give yourself a chance to top deck into Boss or something of that nature. But just not putting the Legacy on the board seemed like a little bit of a throw, because like you get to that, like the way I explained it just now, I don't know if that was a little bit complicated for everyone to follow, but the exact thing I explained is you just get back to that same exact end game either this turn or in 2 turns. So you have to give yourself 1 extra card to draw and try to play the game and win the game that way. So
right. So if player on the left had knocked out the last drops on the right, they can avoid all of that shenanigans, right? Unless they just like top deck Legacy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Not need the epic hands for 3 for game.
Exactly. So we're going back into it. Looks like the player on the left is the one who has the final turn as well in the game. We see here Serena is prized, and we see that the Ursaluna is prized for the player on the right, and then a boss on the player on the left. So Blood Moon Ursaluna is not really relevant until the end of the game. I do think it's T in the bottles at this point. We're going to see a Lugia attach gift. Nice and easy. Probably just a pass. I don't see the hands, but it's an indication of like I don't really think anything else is going on. Pass. Cool. I see Archeops Ultra Ball in hand. Ultra Ball and Noivern. I see another Ultra Ball as well. So this Noivern is gone from the deck. We're going to see a grab of the Archeops. In this situation, I think obviously just get them. I think you get a second Lugia down just in case there's a pop-off turn that exists where you lose both your Lugias. So just to be safe, I think you get both Lugias down. And you have a Carmine in hand as well to draw 5. So you have a follow-up. Like I think it's got to be Lugia because if like your lose condition here is VSTAR, Ultra Ball 2 chops, boss's orders, kill Lugia, and then you lose the game because you can't get another Lugia into play. So you just can't get cocky with it, I think, and just put another Lugia into play. He's thinking about a Chinchino, and he could get bailed out, obviously, but we don't know what's in the player on the right's hand. Maybe they have aromas, maybe they have other stuff in hand that they just they don't want to use because they have 1 extra turn to see another top deck of information. Because Aroma pulls a card out of the deck, Great Ball pulls a card out of the deck. But we're just saying that you don't have it like that. We're committing to the play. And we're going to Carmine and C5 cards. Carmine, a pretty decent supporter card. I don't think you need... I mean, like, people are choosing to play multiples of it, which is, like, nice. What do we draw into here? A Great Ball. I don't know what we're Great Balling for this turn, just because... unless we're looking exactly for another Lugia V to bench. I don't think we needed to Great Ball here, because, again, you get 1 more turn to top deck and get information. And that's actually like really crucial in a game like this where like a Lugia deck where sequencing is every single extra card can matter so much more. Unless we had like a gift specifically to attach.
And if our opponent isn't researching, that's going to get IO'd right to the bottom of the deck.
Yep. So we're going to go ahead and see an attachment to the Lugia of the Mist Energy and a pass. Now it's time to see what this hand is working with. It was just an attachment and a pass last turn. We see an Aroma. See, I told you there was going to be cards like Aromas. These players are heads up with it. It's a Tails. Tails means Luminion. Luminion for Jacques. Jacques for all your Ultra Ball in hand. You have all the pieces you need. Luminion coming through. Let's see what's in the hand. Legacy Energy hands. No Ultra Ball. Luminion. Luminion for probably just research then, I guess. This is going to have to be a big research. I don't know if benching the hands is necessarily the greatest play here, because now you've limited yourself from benching Minchinos. And if you somehow miss here, you are kind of committed into the... So you got 1 Archeops. You have to find 1 more Archeops and a VSTAR. So you're kind of committed into... like you're stuck into 1 Lugia unless you find a way out. I see a Nest Ball. No Ultra Ball. So unfortunately, I think it's going to have to be a bench to Lugia. and read the wind, which is like really bad now because you're down on prize cards. But you have the Luxray to come back into this, but the problem is, um, you're gonna draw your 3. You're gonna try to play the game on this board, but now you already know there's a Chinchino in the hand. Okay, something's happening here. No, we're good. Cool, we can play. There's a Chinchino, top deck Legacy. A little bit interesting. I mean, I think you have to attach here. I would have attached before we drew cards. Also, benching Mew here seems fine because you get to see more cards potentially as well. But we're going to go ahead and see 4 cards looking for V-Star. No V-Star. So whiff on both sides. I think that's pretty fair. We're going to see another attachment to the Lugia. Choosing not to attack for 70 on the active, which I think is a weird decision because attack for 70 means that 220 can KO.
So you're not attacking for 70. You need double turbo.
That's correct. You're right. I forgot that the attack is 2.
You would hit for like 30, which is
that's negligible.
Yeah, it doesn't quite put you in hands range, so that's pretty negligible. Yeah.
So this now we get the V-Star up and running, and the game can be instantly blown wide open if there's a boss's orders in the hand. By that I mean the game ends. I didn't see the hand. I didn't see if there was a boss.
I didn't either.
So we'll go ahead and see here. If there's just a boss, the game ends, right? Like it's just boss Lugia and the game. Archeops comes through. I mean, here, if you don't have the boss, you just go into hands. And so it looks like we're going into hands. Jet energy up the hands. Player playing very fast. He's excited. He knows that he's in a commanding state right now. 2 chops in the other discard. If you have V-Guard, I think you slap it on here as well. No V-Guard, just putting on the mist. Conserving energies very smartly. Putting Lugia in a situation where they now have to find V-Star once again. They missed it last turn. We're going to be able to hands here. And if this Minccino takes a knockout, which it has to do, it's only taking 1 prize card. There's a Jacques in hand. So Jacques can go ahead and grab ourselves the V-Star, which I think is the only play here. Like I think the hand is like it's Carmine or that, but I don't think you can gamble on the Carmine at this point in the game. I think you have to go ahead and grab this. And if you do this, you're only taking 1 prize card. And once your Chinchino goes down, you don't have a great way to respond to the Lugia V-Star, whereas your opponent still has, board space. They can do stuff. They can put down a Chinchino on this turn. They can set up for the following turn. You have to look for a boss's orders. And you need to commit to this play. Like, you need to commit to killing this hands, because if you don't kill the hands will go ahead and kill your Chinchino and take 2 more prizes anyway. And there's a Legacy in hand, though. So what you can do is Legacy the Chinchino, and then attach 3 from deck to Chinchino. Because then you put yourself in a position where you only give up a 1 prize card in this knockout, or 0 prize cards in the knockout, and try to mitigate the value of the hands that just happened. And you know that Luminion's stuck on the board now too, because Luminion can't be bounced. Or you can play super greedy. And you can play super greedy and just save the Legacy for like a hands play on like the Luminion to end the game maybe for 3. And try to take 2, or like Luminion. Yeah. Just try to take 2 prizes somewhere else. So I think based on given the outs, I think he's going to try to hold the Legacy as long as possible. That being said, there's like a Carmine in hand, so it's like the only supporter we can use next turn. Jamming Tower, so you can proc more cards off Gift. We're going to go ahead and hit the knockout here for 260 damage. Legacy energy means you only get 1. No energy off Gift. 1 card. Cool. The Swing and Mirror continues. Archeops. So this turn ideal for the player on the right would be drop a Chinchino on the board. Yep, there it is. Or Minccino on the board. Set up your board in a way where you take the knockout on the active, and then you can look for basically an endgame scenario by taking out a Chops, and then you can one-shot the Lugia for game. We're going to go ahead and get the double turbo out of the deck here with the Chops. A lot of energies. Not actually that many energies gone, I don't think.
I agree. Do you ever float up the Lumi here?
You can't. Legacy's gone.
Legacy's gone. Yep.
So the knockout comes through as well. Gift energy gets procced. One prize card. It is the Blood Moon Ursaluna, which is a pretty big prize card to take here as well. Reversal will also be pretty useless for the remainder of this game, I think, because we are ahead on prize cards. So once again, the counterplay with the Luxury Reversal doesn't really do much. Lugia hitting the board once again. Let's see what we walk into. Can we find a way to use this Legacy energy this turn? If we can go hands, Legacy, Boss, kill Lumi, bench 2 Chinchinos, that's super ideal. But that would be a lot. There's a Lumi in hand as well. Here. There's a lot of energies gone for the player on the left. I think they're in a lot of trouble here. A couple Carmines in hands. We're going to go ahead and grab ourselves probably Boss's Orders, I want to say. No supporters. I don't think there's any supporters left in the deck.
6, 7 energies in deck.
Yeah, but no supporter cards. This Luminian fails. I think they were looking for... I don't know what they were looking for here. Maybe a Boss's Orders to bring up the Vincino?
Yeah, they've forgotten they've prized and discarded a boss.
Yep.
And they played their Serena already. So maybe that might be all of it gusting down.
So this might be a pretty lost game, honestly. Attack here. Maybe go into hands.
Yeah, their list is very heavily teched out, which I wonder if that just makes them fairly unfavored in a clean Lugia mirror like this.
Yeah. The Noibat seems weird for other stuff, but in this situation, it's not the most ideal.
I imagine in the junior division, just a clean Noivern sweep of your Raging Bolt, Ogre Pawn decks, or
Yeah.
Miraidon is probably a good thing to have on hand. Probably good to get him to this point, but not helping him out here in the end game.
This is just unfortunate now because like the Lugia player or like this Lugia that's on the board will just go down to one prize card here, and even if there is a knockout return, then there's just enough attackers to basically end this game. There's attaching an energy from hand to make sure there's a way to float or retreat here. No, everything in the remaining is an attacker on the field.
Yep.
It's got to be a...
40... Yeah.
I mean, the play here is to go into hands. Iono low. I don't even think you can Iono low. Like, you just got to go hands and, like, hope that your opponent doesn't have a way to win the game here. The opponent has a lot of cards in hand, and they didn't really do anything last turn. So maybe you just go hands, take 3, and then you realistically look for a gust off your prize cards. That's all you can do.
Bet they can't find that Chinchino.
Yeah, I mean, you only have one play to make, right? Like, that's the only play you can make. Take 3. You do get the bosses here. Oh, my launcher refreshed. That's weird.
Oh, they're down to 1, so the Bloodroom Ursaluna can also just drop in for a KO.
Yep, Bloodmoon Ursaluna wins the game as well. So any like if they have Bloodmoon Ursaluna, they can just slam it.
Any form of evolution or basic search here.
There it is. Yep.
That's all he needs. There we go.
No reason to put the gift there. I mean, it's just, I guess, for insurance.
Yep.
Cool. And we're going to a game. Oh no, there was 2 prizes. Yeah, so they had to put that Bloodmoon Ursaluna with an energy. But now we are heading to game 3. The player on the left does get to go first now, so that has a huge advantage in the mirror match. And they also have the final turn. So I believe that they are in a position where they just have to kind of get ahead and stay ahead, and they can walk out with the championship. Game
Yeah,
three, Lugia electric actually.
this has been very back and forth. We have 40 minutes, so I think we're finishing this game.
For sure, for sure. They're giving both players like a chance to just like take a breath and like pile shuffle here up again too.
Yeah, but love that form. Take care of the stream players.
Yeah, these juniors aren't used to playing on stage. Obviously, it's a very stressful experience. For anyone who hasn't played on stream, it's not the most ideal fun time. It is very stressful. So people are just prone to make mistakes, and obviously these young kids are not used to playing on stage as well. Now we're locked in. We're gonna see where this takes us. Two kids battling it out. I'm gonna go take a quick bathroom break while they're shuffling up. I'll be right back. B, you take over.
Taking over. You can see the high production value here. The Japan Nats are basically like an IC that Japan hosts for themselves. You can see in the background the green is for the VGC stage. We've also got Unite and Go going on all at the same time. For JCS and Masters, at least, it was basically invite only this year. If the numbers all our friends from Japan shared with us are accurate, you had to win a city league for an invite, or place well at a CL to get an automatic round. And they basically ran out of slots for the regular lottery for most players to get in. So I assume juniors works the same, where they did well at their locals, or they've done well at the CL before. Mulligan for both sides. We're trying again.
Nice and even. Back in time just for the prizes. Luminian prize on both sides. That is unfortunate, but one player is going to see it earlier than the other. So I guess these opening hands will be quite relevant. Lugia on one side, Freddy Fazbear on the other. Jet attach, double Archeops in hand, and I think a research. That's a boss. So there's a lot of top decks that are actually really good here. Research is probably the best one. Ultra Ball. Actually, Ultra Ball would probably be one of the better ones because Ultra Ball gets you Ultra Ball for like a Chinchino or something, and then you have the boss in hand kill Lugia. But Tails on the Aroma breathes life into the Lugia deck. We're allowed to kind of start cooking a little bit here.
Get our basics down. A Lug V, a Minchino. Doing a little prize checking, maybe.
Another Aroma. Yep. See a flip. Heads here.
Why?
Kind of ideal,
Why check prizes when you're just getting them all the Pokemon out of your deck you need?
Grabbing the chops. We're going to see a Nest Ball here. One player playing Nest. Player on the right's playing Nest. Player on the left's playing Great. Both good for their own reasons here. Minchino hitting the board as well. Again, opting not to get another Lugia, just saying you don't have it like that. Jamming Tower, just thinning out of the hand. And we're going to see a Research, Double Chops, and an Iono. So we're seeing kind of the blitz run of Lugia.
I might see this from both of them if the player on the left top decks an Ultra Ball.
If the player on the left top takes an Ultra Ball, I think they're probably just going to win the game on the spot.
We did not get another Lugia V.
Raises
We
the
have
hand.
an Ultra Ball. Yep.
I think they're debating what to do. I don't think they're going to put it down. I think both players are committed to the line of if you have it, you have it. But I'm not going to bench bad cards to give you more prize cards.
Yep.
Attachment to the bench. Reversal energy. I'll see if we can read it. Just see what's going on there. Top deck Ultra Ball would be epic here.
It does
Ultra
count
Ball!
for.
Oh!
Oh my god.
Top deck Ultra Ball. Called it here. That's just like that's just pretty much it, right? Like we top deck Ultra Ball,
Still different.
Archeopses.
Yeah, we got a boss. Like we're
We're gonna
good.
we can grab a Minchino as well here. Um, set up the board perfectly in the exact way it needs to be. Boss already in the hand. Don't even have to think too much about it. A boss's orders onto this Lugia V would put us into a position. There's no Luminion. If not, I probably would have grabbed Luminion,
Yeah,
put it in my hand also.
yeah,
So you can
yeah.
go back to back boss's orders.
This is his first deck search, so he's trying to keep the nerves down a little.
Oh, he's going to go
You
ahead and
know,
use hands this turn. He's going to take 3 prizes with the hands.
that's
So
that's
now a
bold.
boss's orders will win the game. Jet Energy in hand, I believe. Last 2 cards in hand, Jet Boss.
Insane.
This is the
The
perfect culmination of cards. A perfect nightmare for the other player. And amp you very much for 3 prize cards. Taking the Luminion as well. And, I mean, if you're the player on the right, you have to bench a Lugia to play the game. You have to put a Lugia on the board for the game to continue. But if you put a Lugia on the board, there's a Luminion in the hand that's just going to win the game.
bananas.
You have to put down
Yeah.
2 Lugia and attach a Legacy, but Legacy can only go to 1 Pokemon. So this game is checkmated. We're in a position that the game can't really go.
Oh, we've got a Thornton.
Thornton, oh my god.
We've got a V-Star. We're playing the game.
We are able to set up here. We are able to get the V-Star up and running. We have the Freddy Fazbear knockout on the return. I was ready to call this one dead and dusted and over. But a surprise Thornton, a card that I didn't expect to see in the hand, gives us new life into this game. Gives us an avenue for this Blood Moon Ursaluna to come back and take a knockout. But the game is still far from over. The Blood Moon Ursaluna is going to be able to take the knockout here. But that's just a start. We're going to be able to take the first prize. And it's going to be 1 prize card. But that's just the start. We're going to see a Gift Energy proc for 4 cards here. And if there's a Minchino in these 4 cards, there's going to be a lot of things being picked up here. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it a ton. So 4 cards coming in. In an ideal world, we see I don't see a Minchino, and I see a lot of energies in that hand. There's an Aroma, though. So I think you still throw up the Chinchino. I think that's your best bet. We got a coin flip. It's a 50-50. Another Lugia VSTAR. That doesn't do us any good. We're going to go ahead and see the coin flip coming through.
Yep.
Tails. Oh, that's not what we wanted to see.
Tails not a knockout. Tails gets us
Another.
a backup Minchino.
Yep, I think so. There is enough energies in the deck that we can make this work. So I think the best play here is to preload and slam the Carmine. Like, I think we have to commit to the play. Because if we get the knockout here, the game is just so much in our favor. Like, we just win the game with a single boss's orders. Or, this turn you can attach to the active, retreat into Lugia. You have 2 Minchinos down now. Or Minchino's down now. And you can just boss up you can go Luminion, boss up a Chops, or boss up the Minchino on the bench. There's only 1 Minchino. Take the prize card. Go to 2 prize cards. Leave your opponent with no reasonable way to knock out your board. Gift Energy. And we're going to see the Carmine. Let's see if this play gets rewarded. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not thinning energies out of the deck either. Praying from the player on the right. There is the Chinchino. There's going to be the energies being accelerated to the active. But there's a lot of energies gone already. How many are left in the deck? 1 to the active there. And then we're going to go ahead and use the Chops again here.
A lot of energy's gone. We lost that Luminion for a boss play later.
Yep. I think there was very much a reasonable play to hold the hand with all the energies in it. We discarded a lot there. So we could have played for a boss's order here on this Minchino this turn. With the Lugia attack. No way for Lugia to go down. There's a boss in the hand, though. Gift on the active. Everything is procced the way it's supposed to be. 2 cards being taken. we're probably going to look for. We're going to see the gift proc for 4. 4 cards. What can you do here? What can you do to win this game? The Lugia V has to come up. Almost certainly. We got to bring up the attacker. See what we can do with this. What can you do to win this game?
We still have our Legacy Energy in the deck somewhere.
Legacy Energy won't do us a lot of good if it's going on Lugia. It won't do us a lot of good because whatever is good, it gets put on the bench, gets bossed. So I think going into Chinchino and putting a Legacy there is the best option, and just hoping that your opponent doesn't have it. But that's a pretty bad hope. Like, your opponent did discard their Luminian. They have gone through a lot of cards. We're going to go ahead and Iono here. We need a lot. We need a lot of this Iono. The boss is going to the bottom of the deck, but there's gift energy on the active. So we're still going to see 7 cards. The one hope you have is that your opponent could run out of energies. Hands coming down. Hands. Legacy. Taking 2 here. Try to make a comeback. Only response to hands is Minchino. But if the player on the left draws too many energies, maybe they can't even attack. A lot of energies are gone. We researched away a couple. We retreated a couple. We used hands early. We are down a lot of energies. I think we're down like 11 energies at least. So there's probably 1 attack left we can produce. We're going to see, and I have you very much. We're going to see 6 new cards. What are the cards? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
His eyes did not light up like he saw a boss in there. Oh, there is a Chinchino.
1.
How many energy are still
2,
in deck?
3, 4. There it is.
There's knockout.
There's the energies. That's the game. We have our junior Japanese national champion. Actually, a pretty insane Lugia mirror. Hands came into play. Both players holding their legacy energies for a good part of the game. Playing chicken. Game 1 decided on a small mistake, but also a weird end game that I think could have gone either way. Still a favorite on the player on the left. They are the Japanese national champion. With that, yeah.